Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite are a pretty interesting game to talk about. For one, the game didn't do too well for a plethora of reasons. But I will say that there's at least one good thing that came out of this game, at least for me. And that one thing is Monster Hunter. Can you believe that shit? The one good thing out of this entire game is probably Monster Hunter and the story chapter with Monster Hunter in it. Now, these games are all about crossovers, but this game took crossover to the next level. Crossovers were in the story itself, because apparently Ultron from Marvel and Sigma from Capcom, aka Mega Man, actually end up merging the universes together. And as a result of this merger, some interesting worlds came into reality. So what you see right now is Valkanda. And if you're wondering, well, Valkanda, but isn't it Wakanda? If that's what you're thinking about, well, yeah, it kind of is. But at the same time, it isn't. As a result of the universe merger, the universe of Monster Hunter and the universe of Black Panther smooshed together to create this fever dream of a mix-up, I would call it. You can see that there's actually a mix of both Monster Hunter architecture and architecture from Wakanda, or African architecture. And it goes together really well, actually. You can see there's a statue of a Rathalos here. There's also a statue of, obviously, a Black Panther. You can see air balloons up in the sky, which is a big Monster Hunter thing. This picture right here is actually Val Harbor, or Val Habar, from Monster Hunter 4 and 4 Ultimate. And it seems like the Val in Valkanda is from Val Harbor. And obviously the rest of it is from Wakanda. So, yeah. Very interesting fusion. And if you take a look at Valkanda here, if you take a look at the flags that are there, that's also super duper interesting. As this world has a lot of really good lore to it, and it's a shame that this probably won't be used ever again. So here's where things get really interesting. Beside Ryu walking with a Monster Hunter, if you take a look at this flag here, at the bottom, that's obviously the guild logo. That's a logo for the guild in Monster Hunter. And it seems that above this guild logo is actually a silhouette of a Black Panther. And it's to insinuate that T'Challa, the Black Panther, is the guild master of Valkanda, which makes perfect sense, but it's also super symbolic in a way. Now, it's really hard to find further lore for Valkanda in this game. I did hear that maybe in terms of time frame, it's been about 90 days since the fusion occurred, which I'm not too sure if that's true or not. It's really hard to find any more info on this, but it also seems that as T'Challa became the guild master and ruler of Valkanda, he also started appointing monster hunters as his right-hand man, which is that's amazing, dude. Like, it's such a weird, trippy kind of thing, but for some reason this shit works, and it works really well. And I also remember Kaname saying that we probably would never have a Monster Hunter in a fighting game, as there's too much lore to work with, and they want to respect that in Monster Hunter. But you know what? They definitely respected the lore. Definitely. Almost everything the hunter says in this game has something to do with Monster Hunter or respecting nature. It just works. And I really think they did a good job with the hunter in this game. And I think she was probably one of the best fighters in this game as well, which is even funnier. Also, this part here is really interesting to me.
You'd lock your people away behind this barrier forever? This isn't a kingdom. It's a prison.
I don't know who you are, friend, but you will show T'Challa respect.
God damn. Like, there's something about this part. It just, like, strongly reinforces the fact that she is the right-hand man of T'Challa and that she respects Black Panther. She really respects this guy. And I say this guy as if he's like some normal person, but obviously he's the guild master of Valkanda, which is kind of crazy. Can you imagine a Monster Hunter game where, like, we're in Valkanda, you go to the gathering hub and you appoint to Black Panther? What the fuck? That would be some awesome shit. Also, another part that was pretty striking to me.
Something ancient. Yet changed. Huh? The Elder Dragon. Daren Moran.
It's infected with the Sigma virus.
And in a frenzy.
Hulk and I will defend the town.
So we literally get Daren Moran, who's also in a frenzy, which is a callback to, obviously, Gormagala in MH4 and MH4U. Like, Capcom, I don't know who wrote this, but this was, like, brilliant. And then on top of that, we have Ryu and Hulk, two people that are battling, like, evil within themselves. Like, it's just insane. My dude just Metsu Shoryuken, his horn, broke that shit, and Hulk comes down, takes a piece of his broken horn. Ryu just fucking Hadogans the shit out of Daren Moran. Like, they did my boy dirty. They did. But it looks good. It's cool. We have Ryu from another Capcom franchise. We have the Hulk. They both beat the shit out of it. And I honestly think this is one of the best additions to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Like, this game had so much potential. And as a Monster Hunter fan, I was super excited to have Monster Hunter in a fighting game. I love fighting games, if you haven't already noticed. And this was kind of like a dream come true in a sense. Too bad the game wasn't all that great. But, yeah, there's not much lore or anything I can find on Valkanda. It's like, it's pretty obscure, and I don't think there's much to work with anyway. At the end of the day, it's just a really cool crossover that some people think is extremely weird. Personally, I think the two universes mesh perfectly well, because they're both pretty grounded in a sense. Black Panther is just really fucking cool in this game especially. So to have him be the guild master of this Valkanda, and to have like monsters from Monster Hunter, and to have a Monster Hunter be appointed the right hand man of the Black Panther himself, it's just pretty brilliant, and whoever thought of this deserves a goddamn raise. Not that it matters that the game was a flop, sadly. But yeah, there's not much else I know on this. Sadly, as much as I wanted to make, like, I don't know, a 30-minute video on lore of this Valkanda, unfortunately there isn't much else to work with here, but I really wanted to make this video to kind of spread the word and knowledge of this interesting crossover. So if you enjoyed this, consider subbing to the channel, and bye.